The run-and-gun genre is one of the oldest video game genres. My earliest encounter with the genre that I can remember was with Contra 3 The Alien Wars, but the most memorable one was with the Metal Slug series. The feeling of being a one-man, or woman, destroying a battalion of soldiers, tanks, airplanes, mechas, robots, whatever it may be, brought a sense of enjoyment to me. There is also the joy of inviting a friend and taking on overwhelming odds together. Now I want to lay down some ground rules here. The games picked are based on my enjoyment. You may have played a particular game and have a different opinion, that's fine. I just feel like I need to put that out there, that's all. There is also no year limit to the games chosen. As long as I think the game is good and worth most people's time, I will include it in this list. Lastly, I think a good run and gun game has a linear playstyle and the player goes from stage to stage until the game is completed. A level select is fine, but the game should not include exploration and traveling. With those 3 rules laid down, let's get into the games. Starting off small but great, Savage Halloween was released on April 15th, 2021. Developed by Second Boss Games and published by QU Byte Interactive. What happens when a Halloween party by Dracula lasts for a whole year? A pumpkin farmer, a werewolf, and Dracula's daughter herself have to shut it down. This game has you run through 7 different levels, with each one having a different theme. Starting off with a Halloween theme, then you move on to ice, graveyard, circus, you get it. Way more things to be available. The 3 characters differ through speed, strength, and speed. This game is 2-player as well, so you can complement each other's playstyles by picking different characters. Each level has a sub-boss and a main boss. Most of them complement the things very well that the level has. Sometimes the gameplay is switched up at the halfway point of a stage. One stage has a shoot-'em-up stage, imitating the feel of a horizontal shoot-'em-up, and another section has you going through an ice track a la the tunnel section from Battletoads, everyone's favorite. And if you've never experienced that, consider yourself lucky. The game has 4 different weapons that each character has access to. These include a shotgun spread made of bats, ghosts that have a boomerang function, an arcing frog that slides when they hit the ground just like your boy, and an exploding chicken. Each character also has a special attack. James has an exploding grenade, Lulu has a strong claw attack that moves forward, and Dominica has an 8-way shot that retrieves health when connecting. The biggest drawback of this game is that the levels take a little bit way too long for a run and gun game, and sometimes being hit feels like a cheap box. Like those outside the window enemies that decide shooting before you even drop down. Yeah, that kind of shit. This artificial bloating brings down the enjoyment of stages, and if you lose all your lives, you have to do it all over again. The sound effects and music are fine for the game, but you won't be listening to any of these tracks on your way to work, gym, or a nice drive to your mama's. If you want to try Savage Halloween, you can try it out on Switch, Steam, PS4, and Xbox One for the low price, winner's price of $5. Pretty good entry price if you ask me. Released on July 11th, 2019. Developed by Joymaster and published by the Arcade Crew, Blazing Chrome will slap some Mega Drive taste into your taste buds. If you're looking for the closest thing to Contra, well then look no further. From top to bottom, you will get your Contra hardcore fill and more. In an unknown year, robots have taken over the world and the human race is close to extinction. Terminator 2 anybody? It's up to Mavra, a rewired robot named Doyle, and a small group of rebels to buy the human race some time to fight back. Go through 6 beautifully designed stages with amazing music and graphics, ranging from a destroyed metropolis, a desert leading to a fleshy underground area, and the robots' frozen base housing one of their main power sources. Wield 4 different weapons, each being adept at different situations. The interesting thing about Blazing Chrome is that the player can have all 4 weapons at the same time and switch between them. Very similar to, like I said, Contra Hardcore. On death, the player will lose the equipped weapon. Alongside those weapons, the player can melee by tapping the attack button when close to an enemy. But most importantly, there are vehicles that can be manned. Each different mecha has a different attack and fits the situation perfectly. From a mecha that has a Gatling gun, then you have one with a drill and another one with a penetrating laser beam. This injects a bit of metal slug into the formula. There are 3 upgrades the player can have. A defense bot, allowing the player to take 2 extra hits. An attack bot, which will fire a machine gun when holding down the attack button. And a speed bot, my favorite, which increases running speed and grants the player a double jump. There's so much in this game if you are a hardcore run and gun fan that I don't want to say too much about it, so I want you to experience it for yourself. This might be one of the more known indie games on there, and on this list, for a good reason. If you haven't played it, you can pick it up on Switch, Steam, PS4, and Xbox One for $16.99. A bit higher than the previous entry, but well worth the price for those looking for that extra kick to the teeth. Released on February 28, 2020, and developed by Megami Games and published by No Gravity Games. Wallachia is what happens if you mix Castlevania with Contra, 2 amazing Konami IPs. Get to it, Konami. You have the atmosphere and the aesthetic of gothic Castlevania with the gameplay and speed of Contra. Armed with the trusty bow and sword combo, which is mapped to its own button, tight command of Elson as she progresses through 7 stages to eliminate Vlad the Impaler, at least a fictionalized version though. Wallachia has more story than most of the entries on this list, so if you're looking for a plot, well, here you go. Mind you, it's not deep a plot at all. It's a revenge plot, which is motivation for Elson to move forward. You know, family dies, brother gets stolen, becomes one of the bosses, you know the deal. There are multiple arrow types to help the player progress forward and several upgrades as well. These upgrades include bow damage increase, sword damage increase, and charge speed increase. Elson can charge up her bow to release a damaging shot, which can make mincemeat of tougher enemies, including the bosses. A unique mechanic to this game is that Elson can use shadow orbs, these small pickups, to summon allies to give her a boost at any point in the game. There are 2 levels of upgrades, and the higher level gives more bonuses at the expense of more shadow orbs. There are a few bonuses here to extend the life of the game as well. Bonus stages and challenges are here to test the player's skills, and Miriam's outfit from Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is available after completing the game once, which gives incentive to play through the game again under a different outfit. The music is okay, and the pixel art here is a little bit unusual to me at the start, but I think it fits the gothic dark aesthetic perfectly, and it grew on me the more I invested time. Unfortunately, this is the only game on the list that does not support co-op. This is a solo adventure for you speedrunners out there, and if you're looking for a horror and dark themed run and gun game, give this one a shot. It's available for Switch and PS4 for $14.99, and this is the one time where being a PC player pays off, because it's on Steam for $9.99. PC Master Race, hashtag. Don't know why there is a price difference, but hey, pick what's available to you.
Mercenary teams!
So I wanted to include this game on here because I think it's a lot of fun, and I think it's great, honestly, especially because I spent so many hours into it, and if you pick this up, you will spend a bunch of hours into it as long as I did. Mercenary Kings, which is published and developed by your boys at Tribute Games, is a side-scrolling run-and-gun platform similar to games like SNK's Metal Slug series. I put it here due to how the game progresses and how stages are structured. Players make their way through 100 plus missions with a variety of enemies, bosses, and locations. Missions are structured very similar to the Monster Hunter series, with levels accessed one at a time from a central hub area. You even have your own cook. Not as cute as the Master Chef though. Players can gain rank points upon completion, which are used to rank up and unlock more difficult set of missions. Objects vary from one level to another. One could include you gathering objects, other ones are hostage rescues, some are boss battles, and more. Missions also have extra missions, which encourage the player to explore the stage. Each stage is a huge map that the player can explore, and has a time limit that varies depending on the mission. The game also features a detailed loot-based customization system. Enemies drop certain kinds of loot depending on their type, which can be used to craft weapon parts, knives, armor, or mods which give unique player abilities. Gun creation involves crafting multiple components which affect the weapon stats, such as firing rate, magazine size, weight, and ammo compatibility. Ammo types can also be switched out to add elemental damage or change the bullet behavior, though not all ammo types are compatible with all guns. This game is incredibly fun and can be played with up to 4 players either online or offline, although good luck finding anybody online anymore. It's an older game, being released all the way back in 2014 for Steam and PS4, and then in 2018 for Switch, Xbox One, and PS Vita. Remember that thing? Check it out for $20. You'll easily get 20 hours worth of content out of this game. Trust me.
Huntdown.
Crime doesn't pay unless you're a bounty hunter. Released on May 12, 2020 and developed by Easy Trigger Games and published by Coffee Stain Publishing. This cyberpunk run and gun game will make you assume the position. Take control of 3 playable characters, each with different base weapons, and dismantle 4 gangs in your home turf. Start from street punks and move all the way up to organized crime and karate cops. I get a mixture of both 16-bit and DOS graphics. The loading screen just yells DOS to me, but in-game graphics align to more of what a 16-bit game would feel, as does the music. Better yet, this game is co-op. I played this all the way through with a buddy on its initial release and we had a blast. Players can equip themselves with numerous weapons and ordnance. It also has the unique gameplay of being a cover-based shooter. The player can crouch behind certain objects or lean in alcoves to avoid enemy gunfire, but cover won't protect you from crazies swinging crowbars in your face. Also, cover will diminish as it takes more damage, so you can't be hiding for forever. Take the initiative. Each stage has 3 briefcases that act as collectibles. In the story mode, they count towards the completion, but in the arcade mode, they reward the player with extra points. And those are bragging rights right there, baby. Stages are real nice and short with varying themes. They start from alleys, tunnels, and streets, and eventually go all the way up to casinos, dojos, and skyscrapers, baby. Each stage has their own unique boss, which the player needs to defeat to collect the bounty on their head. This is one of the best running gunners out there in my opinion, and the varying difficulty levels allow players to change the experience. You want to take multiple hits? That's fine, pick normal or hard. But if you want that one hit kill experience, pick brutal. And trust me, that shit is brutal. You can grab yourself a copy of Huntdown on Steam, Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One for the amazing price of $20. For the quality of this game, you are not overpaying, baby. Trust me, you are underpaying. This game is magnificent. If you haven't played this, do yourself a favor and play it now. I'd be surprised if you haven't, because this game is so damn good. And it's an amazing way to start off 2022. Run and gun games have been with me all my life, and I really hope that by exposing you to these gems that you'll appreciate them too. Maybe you already appreciate them, and maybe I've showed you something you haven't even got in your hands yet. Maybe you're looking for a new run and gun game to speedrun, or maybe you and a friend want to play something together on a Friday night with a 3-stack tier of dominoes. I believe there is a certain appeal that this genre brings to the video gaming table that can't be captured by any other genre. Through their sleek designs and vibrant aesthetics, combined with some bumpin' music, they've always caught my eye. I believe these games are the best run and gun games to play in 2022. We'll wait for more gems, and baby, 2022 is looking good.